Howdy and welcome back. It's been a hot minute since I've worked on her, so let's go over what I need to work on. I really have no idea what I'm going to work on in this video specifically, but guessing it will probably be that thing there and probably something over there. But anyway, let's give a quick review. Let's start with this. We have a Ford 8.8 rear axle out of, I think, as a 99 2000 Explorer. That I don't really know, but it's got limited slip, 3.73 gearing, which I felt like was probably going to be fine for what I need. Soon I'm going to order a new that side axle. I think that is considered side. Going to order another passenger side axle to replace the driver side, and we're going to cut that thing. You know, I think it's like 2 7/8 or something. We'll do the measurements. I'll look up, verify, but we're going to do that, clean out stuff. But anyway, limited slip goodness, get brackets, yada yada. So there's work to be done there. Next up, the wiring. The car runs now. That is great. I am happy with that. But there is so much more to it being done than just running. So the first thing I'm going to be doing at some point here, who knows, we'll see, clean up the wiring, get it all kind of bundled up, have more of it run to the inside, and just have this as clean as possible. I've done little bits, some zip tying to kind of put things in place. Obviously I've still got more work to do. One, because like this is just hanging around. That's a rat's nest. We still have stuff like this where it works, things are connected, but it's not how it should be. We've got a radiator there. Hopefully sort that out soon. I think it works. It's going to really suck if I measured and didn't get it right. So need to get a seat in here, at least something to sit. Also with the electric power steering, we finally got a control module for it. So yeah, great. We'll go into that when the time comes. There's so much to do. We need to route for the clutch slave, you know, run it down there. I also am making a new setup to hold the steering linkage in place. Hopefully I will do better this go around. Once that's done, brakes. We need brakes. The goal before the end of the year, she needs to move on her own, like under her own power, which means rear end needs to be put in, drive shaft needs to be made, clutch needs to be routed up and working, and brake lines are probably a good thing in that equation too. Get the brakes working. There's a lot of things. I don't know if money and time will allow everything, but our goal is this year have at least those basics done. With that said, let's figure out what I'm going to work on. One eternity later, I finally started working on this. It's been probably a week or two since my last recording. Got all the old bits, everything off. I mean, I'll still reuse the little caliper holder, but I don't remember where they went. But pieces are scattered that used to be like the different mounts. I also have that marked. I tried to use an exhaust cutter to kind of scribe a spot, but it still seemed crooked. Someone showed a technique on one video I saw where you wrap this around and, you know, you get things even. So that appeared to work nicely. So I need to do mark, I believe it's 2 7/8 or 2.875 inches from there to inside. That will be the segment that I cut And then what I've seen video wise, there's plenty of good videos out there for this, so I'm just really doing cliff notes. C clamp angle iron, or C, it's kind of like the U kind of thing, whatever. I'll show that part, but you get two pieces, clamp it where it's flush here, straight. After you've cut the section out, you slide this in where they meet up, then you weld them together. That's the plan. Let me go get some things cut and we'll be back with the next stage. And here we are. Just a small little update. We have it prepped for welding. I've measured it. It seems fine. It's accurate, like, you know, twisty and all that jazz. So yeah, I'm gonna weld her up. Also seems like the axle goes in fine, aligns up properly with how that side is. So between measurement and axle, all seems good. So yeah, I'm gonna do a few spot welds, recheck everything, rinse, repeat until it's all welded. We will be back. We're back with just a small little update. I have the axle in there. I've welded everything together. I did add a few spots after grinding out because things didn't go right, but that turns, no binding. So one of the next things up is to put new mounts on. Probably not going to do that in this video just because I have a lot of other things I want to do before I have to lift the car up and remove the rear axle to actually get all the angles and crap for brackets. Anyway, that's done. Next thing, hopefully it'll be quick. Gonna make a plate to secure this thing onto and get this in a permanent position that hopefully no longer moves. We'll be back. Little update again. What we have here is a template. What this template will do is we'll just leave that there. Remember what it looks like. Imagination. What we got is, as you see under there, there's a steering shaft there that goes all the way to there. Some of this is caused by the fact that I decided I wanted a Yaris electric power steering column. So I have a Yaris electric power steering column, but I need to mount that better. I used to have a bracket right around here. That was a bad solution. What I'm doing now is that cardboard is going to be a plate that fills in this area and gives a mounting location for that joint. That should give it more stability when turning and things like that, because the other solution I had was just flexing. It wasn't a good solution. I'm hoping the angles aren't too over the top, but we'll find that out later. But where we're at now is slop, but still it's there. I wanted to at least kind of tidy up the wires. I knew I wasn't going to be able to completely tidy them up, partially because of I have a lot of excess back there, and I'm hitting myself on that. So the injectors and the coils are running off, I think, as one power wire or two or whatever from the Haltech little fuse block. So I built everything not on the car, and that's kind of the results. I still have things to iron out, like you see these power things here, which are kind of going to the same thing, both constant power going here. So got to figure that out too. I still got wires there, and there's wires everywhere. But anyway, that's where we're at. So since I at least tidied them up a little, pulled some of the wires back, next up I'm going to put this back on, the throttle body, and finally resolve this issue of no gas pedal. So we'll be back with that properly connected up. And just so you kind of know, Skid Factory did a little video on this before, like a while ago. I have the throttle cable pulled mostly into the car. I'm gonna build a bracket that's gonna sit probably around here, cut an end off, you know, yay, cut an end, run the cable back through it, and this will slide over it. I'm going to have to open the end up. This will slide over it. I will crimp this back down on it, and then it should work just like any standard throttle cable. We'll find out, because if I screw it up, I gotta go to the junkyard and pick up something else. Anyway, whole bunch of stuff. Let's get back with some progress. We have a small little update. Here is the shortened throttle cable attached to the original bracket that held the throttle cable, but just with that end shaved off. Looks okay. It'll do the job, I think. And with that, we also have a plate I made that goes on the firewall. The steering shaft will bolt in here. Let's get both those things properly hooked up, and we'll come back and just see what they kind of look like. Always make sure when you're making a part to hold something like that steering linkage you kind of see hidden down here, make sure that that is fully put back together, because that is the problem I had. I did not have one of the joints, this joint here. Let's see if we can even, not really, but this joint here was not fully secured to the joint going to the steering column or steering rack. So yeah, it didn't work. So we've got iteration 2 happening here. It is drying. Hopefully this will be the final, or final for now until I get some wild hair up my butt or redo everything, whatever. That should be it. I hope. We will be back with that installed. We are back with linkage that's kind of in place there, or so it seems. As you can tell, I have not the best visibility, but we got the nuts here holding it in. It's got just a little bit of wiggle, so I'm not quite sure what my expectation was there. But what we have here is the plate covering up everything. What my plan is to probably get like a rubber sheet or something, cut it out to kind of match, and let that kind of be insulated and seal up everything. And as you can also see, since I don't have any brakes hooked up, that clears this thing here. So but we've got turning. I do feel like there might be a little bit of binding, but it's not anything significant. So for now, it'll be there. It's going to be a long time before this is like a roadworthy driver. So we'll find out if I can think of a better option or whatever, but this feels a lot better than what I had done before. So iteration 2, alpha 2, something, words. Either way, appears good enough. See, got a little bit of noise down there. Not sure, I really had no idea what to expect, but I am okay with what we have right now. Last thing we're going to like quickly investigate is this radiator that I bought. I think it's been years now, when I first started the project, or maybe a year or 3 ago, whatever. We're gonna open this up and see if it'll actually work. I took measurements. Okay, year and a half. Took measurements. I think I had it right, but I really have no idea. We've got very limited space there, partially because that thing sticks out further, so might have to look at removing that. But let's unbox this thing real quick and see what we got. And here's the radiator. And I'm going to do another video on this because there's plenty of work to do with the cooling system, just to get it running and have it run for longer than, 10 seconds. Anyway, it looks like it'll fit. This path will go down here. This path will go right here. Radiator is going to sit a little recessed. Still got things to figure out there. That's what content or what work I have done over the last few months. It's not a lot. Life gets in the way, but what I will say is the radiator or the rear axle is going to be the next thing. I want to try and get that rear axle in there pretty soon, but we'll see how that goes because I think I might still have to take it out. But if anyone happens to know of a good solution to shave this off here so I have a little bit more room, that would be appreciated. Just because I'm like, I don't see any good options, but that's just my lack of experience. Anyway, thanks for watching. Any insights? Feel free to spout them out below, because knowledge is power and stuff like that. Anyway, have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.